Hi, it's New Year's Eve, probably New Year's Day or sometime in January when you see this. But I thought I'd give you a quick end of the year from my perspective in Eve Online. Not a lot of CSM stuff to talk about. We've been talking to CCP a lot, and I mean a lot. The extraction changes, the end of scarcity, we'll get to that. But let's go through some of the highlights of the past year of 2021, which for a lot of us did not have a lot of highlights, if you know what I mean. January saw the big battle in M2, the attempt to rescue Titans. We found out that at times the enemy is not other players, it's the servers. Because no matter how many players CCP designs the game to be able to support, we try to bring more. And so we did crash the servers and ruin a battle, which probably would have been fantastic and set the records again, but it didn't. And that's where that was at. February brought the trailer Rain, which introduced the idea of fleet warp, which I still think is really cool, and I haven't seen it used in videos enough yet. It's a great visual thing. Think of it as an organizational skin, if you understand what I mean. March added Eve Anywhere, which unfortunately, apparently, I'm not anywhere. I'm in Canada. This drives me crazy. I would love to be able to play Eve on a browser, but currently it's not available in my country. Those of you who are available, I would love to get some feedback from you for how that's going. But for now, I'm just looking forward to eventually being anywhere, which is different than somewhere. April, boosters got a boost. The in-game drugs, a lot of them were doubled. The mycotorsate, I never can say that damn word. Some of the boosters got better. Probably there wasn't enough of drug trade, and Iceland decided we needed more. May is Eve's birthday, and Eve turned 18. Can you flippin' believe it? 18. I mean, hell, where I come from, that means something in terms of growing up, but that depends on where you are, doesn't it? But 18 years this game has been around. That's fantastic. And they had the usual celebrations and bragging and overstatements and that sort of thing. The one that stuck in my mind was Hilmar saying he would like to be able to say Eve will go on forever. I don't know of any game that goes on forever. Chess would be a good one, some of the classic board games, but to have a video game that is actually managing that same lifespan is interesting. I was just showing somebody the other day, if you remember on the 10th anniversary of Eve, they had that big box set and a title going into the second decade. Can you believe in 2 years we will be going into the third decade of Eve? It won't have been around for 3 decades, we'll be entering the third decade. That's impressive by anybody's standards. Of course, some of you are still saying Eve is dying, Eve is dead, the game's gone, why are we playing anyways? But you keep showing up to the forums to say that, which kind of says something. If you think it's dead, don't attend the funeral. So, wildest plans for Eve was, that was the one. The other quote from Hilmar that cracked me up was, in the interview, he said, the wildest plans for Eve was the game going on for about 5 years. I think, and he said, and that was insanely large for us. So the game has, in his opinion, exceeded all expectations, and I doubt he ever thought that he'd be selling the company to an organization in another part of the world. On to June. June had the CSM election. Damn if you didn't elect me as one of your council representatives. Too late to retract the votes. So, and as I've said, a lot of the CSM this term was carryovers, incumbents from the previous term. Next year's election is going to be interesting because some people are hitting their 3-year limit. I'm not running again, not because I'm hitting a 3-year limit, but just because Every now and then I'd like to just play the game and not have alarm clock ops to get up and meet and argue and get yelled at and that sort of thing. I'll still be playing, the only way I stop playing Eve is by one of two deaths, mine or the game's. Blop's got an update. I still want to fly a Blops. For some reason, I've never managed to get myself into a Sin or a Widow or any of those, and I really should go out and earn some ISK and do that. July. July was one of the great months, in my opinion. It had CCP Aurora announcing the return of the Alliance Tournament 17, or XVII, for those of you who don't read Roman. And they promised in a dev blog then that scarcity would soon end. Maybe I'll get back to that in a bit. It did a visual update. They said bringing out Eve's true colors, and the game is as pretty as it ever has been. I love how the game looks, and a lot of people, I've shown total strangers in the past month Eve just playing, and had to record some for somebody, and they really liked what they saw. I did an Abyssal run. August. Pappy blinked first. The Great War ended not with a bang, but with a whimper. There was not a huge battle to end it. It was just kind of everybody got bored and went home, and have been being chased and hounded to the hills. They ran through the bushes where the rabbit wouldn't go. Eve Anywhere expanded, but it still did not get to where I am, so apparently I'm still not anywhere. September, they came out with the new AIR NPE. Man, there's too many TLAs, three-letter acronyms. The new player experience had a new storyline, plotline, animation. It's been a little jerky for me, but I like it better than the previous stuff. That's just me. Skill plans became a thing, and they redid the UI for the skill window, which a lot of people complained about, and I agree it still could use some stuff. Eve became available not just on Steam or directly, but also through the Epic Store. And my favorite joke from that month was proof that CCP is not really clear on what a quadrant means. Because quadrants for us mean you divide the year into 4, and each quadrant is going to be those 3 months. CCP just pretty much declares a quadrant whenever they get around to doing the new thing. October. Both you Apple Mac users celebrated joyously as Eve came out for Apple. I'm teasing. I'm fairly sure there's at least 5 of you. Dozens, maybe. And it was the 1-year anniversary of Pochven. This year they also, the main changes in Pochven were fixing the seagulling, where people were managing to steal a share of the stuff without doing any of the work, and they finally got that done. November brought another quadrant, see above comment. And more information on scarcity and that it's over, which I directly, as a CSM, told them, do not say scarcity is over. Let them say it. But if you say it, they expect everything to be as good as it was 2 years ago, and it isn't. And that was a problem. I think the main problem, if you trace it all the way back to the beginning, wasn't the cutbacks. It was just all the screw-ups that the Rorqual created. And so a lot of the Eve problems go back to one ship. The Alliance Tournament happened. Seriously, if you did not get a chance to watch the Alliance Tournament, go on to Twitch, record, or go on to YouTube. Watch some of the battles. As far as I'm concerned, the Alliance Tournament is one of the fantastic things in Eve, and one of the few fair battles that you'll ever see. Because normally in Eve, if you got into a fair battle, both sides screwed up. December brought the winter update and the holidays, and it brought now. I'm still hopeful for Eve. I'm hopeful the game will go on. I'd love to see it go into its 3rd decade. I'd love to see you still playing the game when it does. I'd love to meet up with you in space. If you feel obligated to shoot at me, That's okay. If you want to donate to the Operation Magic School Bus, that's great too. I'm not asking for donations right now. That was November. I only ask for donations 1 month in a year. Overall in the world, it's been shit. I mean, COVID has locked us up, locked us down, made travel poor, and I hope you guys are keeping sane. I hope you're managing to do some of the things you want to do. I hope you get a chance to be with family. I hope all of you are well. I recorded a little while ago, and they just released it recently, Broadcast for Reps. And look, I know the world's going crazy right now. I get it. And I hope you have a chance to rise above it. If the game helps you get away from the real world stresses, fantastic. If it doesn't, stick with the people you love. Do what you love to do. And I hope that 2022 is a better year for you, for us, for the planet. But until for me, a few hours from now, I hope you all have a Happy New Year. If you celebrate it now, if you're Chinese, then you're on a different server, probably not watching this, but and lots of other. I'm aware that there's lots of different cultures have New Year's on lots of different times. Me, I'm a teacher. As far as I'm concerned, New Year's was September 1st every year. And that's not a cultural thing, that was an employment thing. That's when I got my new classes, it was New Year's. But I'm retired now, I still have teacher nightmares in late August, early September. I understand stress. I understand surviving stress. And I hope you survive yours. I hope you have a very happy holiday season and go into the new year with new purpose and a new chance to get on to better things. Thanks a lot. In case you can't remember, this is Mike Azariah. Have a good one.